One of the professional models or languages that the change agent should have is to be aware of this color model, you could say, and as one of the methods and instruments that they have, because it can help you to communicate with each other about change. You know, change is a collective action, and there's another situation in which one person has to do something with change. It also, you know, it affects a lot of people. A lot of people are involved, and this is the language, a jargon, you could say, that helps you to talk about change and what's happening, what you see, how you diagnose it, how you develop, you change strategies, how you choose your own projects, and how you choose to combine different angles in developing and designing your strategies.
It's a very good question whether you need to approach a person in the color that they have. It doesn't need to be that way. So, for instance, somebody whose blueprint can be very much touched by a red manager, especially because it's something that they enjoy, the sense of community. It's not like dorks even like to have friends, you know, in a way. You know, nerds is not that they're antisocial, they're just not so good at it. So if there's a complementary role or a complementary presence there who brings that to the table, it actually makes the place stronger.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing is when we first developed this thinking, we thought it was only about change and about change strategies. But while working with it and talking with it, it's also about managing. It's about organizing. It's about human beings. And what I found out is that you know, these colors are very generic concepts, you could say, very deeply rooted generic concepts, which play a role in almost in any human traffic, you could say, you know, any communication or everywhere where people, you know, meet and come together, then you can see something of the colors, and that means that they're very, very basic and very generic and very, I think, also very important, of course.
If you want to choose an approach given a situation, there's different criteria that can help. One is, for instance, what is the organization where it's happening? So if you have an engineering firm and it does a change, if you can do it in blueprint, it helps, because engineers are very good at that kind of stuff. But it also depends on the outcome that you want to achieve. So if the outcome is, for instance, better communication between people, then blueprint is not really feasible. You know, if you say this is the blueprint for better teamwork, it's not really going to work that well. So then you need a different approach. And so now you got 2 criteria, and there's 4 others, and you weigh them. So the kind of outcome, the kind of organization, the kind of resistance, the kind of people that pull it off, and you weigh the pros and cons of the criteria, and then you come up with something.
No, it is used to simplify, but we don't like that. That's not where we made it for. We made it for seeing the complexity, seeing that in situations of change, that underlying, you know, what's happening in the visual part, that these color prints, you could say, play a very decisive role, a very important role, and that you need to be aware of the role they play, and that you need to be aware, you know, in terms of your preferences, but also, you know, how other people react to that, and that you can be, you know, professional in using it.
Now, the challenge is that the colors, because they have so different assumptions, they are sometimes inclined to battle with each other. So it's quite a challenge for a company to find a way to actually let the colors, you know, deal with each other and complement each other. It's not easy.